Our philosophy around safety is that it comes first. No job is more important than the safety of our people. No deadline is more important than doing it safely. You should question anything that you don't think is safe, and that you should feel obligated to put your safety and your coworkers above the job.
It is important that you sign in each time you arrive at the building and to sign out when you leave. In case of an emergency, this list identifies who needs to be evacuated from the building. In case of emergency, please gather at your building's designated muster point and await further instructions. It's important to have the right equipment for the job, and the equipment you'll use the most is your desk chair, which is fully adjustable with lumbar support in the small of the back. Adjust your chair so your feet are flat on the floor, with your hips slightly more than 90 degrees. Your keyboard should be the same height as your elbows, with your wrists slightly bent. Position your computer screen 18 to 24 inches away, with your eyes in line with the top third of the monitor. It's important to alternate your work activity and postures throughout the day, and to take breaks every 30 minutes by getting out of your chair and stretching. A specialist in the HSE department can assess your work habits and recommend changes to avoid any common hazards. Ergonomic injury risk factors include forceful movements, repetitive motions, awkward postures, and lack of rest. Always wear appropriate shoes for the tasks you perform and for wet or icy conditions. Shoes or sandals must be secure at the heel, and flip-flops, sandals, or beach footwear are not permitted in the office. Quinn is committed to maintaining a respectful workplace for everyone. Acts of violence or harassment or any other ethics violations will not be tolerated. Workplace harassment is any form of unwelcome conduct based on any prohibited ground of discrimination, including age, gender, race, color, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, disability, or any other form of discrimination-based human rights legislation. Any threatening behavior, whether expressed verbally, physically, or in writing, is also prohibited. Quinn employees must report any violations to their supervisor. All incidents, injuries, near misses, unsafe acts and conditions, or property damage must be reported to your supervisor immediately. Make sure that you report off-the-job injuries or illnesses to your supervisor at the beginning of each shift.
Injury or illnesses are always imperative to report so we can identify what went wrong in our process, so we can fix the process on a go-forward basis, and also to ensure that the workers are receiving the best care that we can possibly provide them.
It is important that our offices are kept clean, organized, and free of debris. Clean and organized work areas help prevent accidents and increase work efficiency. Emergency exits and equipment must not be blocked, and all access routes, such as doorways, aisles, walkways, and platforms, must be clear of obstructions. Maintain your awareness of the various walking hazards throughout your work locations. Slipping and tripping hazards remain a constant concern due to wet floors, icy sidewalks, and uneven surfaces. Sand slippery surfaces when appropriate, or ask to have them sanded. When using stairs, reduce your chance of slipping or falling by maintaining a 3-point contact using the handrail. At Quinn, we believe in doing our part to protect the environment. So please be mindful of your printing habits and be sure to recycle papers and cardboard in the appropriate receptacles. Provincial laws require that employees do not smoke in any of our workplaces, within any company vehicles, or within 5 meters of doorways, windows, or air intakes of buildings. All employees are asked to make personal calls during breaks and meal periods, and to ensure that friends and family members are also aware of this policy. If you are working alone, equipment must be in safe condition, and you must be aware of the location of our first aid and emergency supplies. It's also a good idea to let someone know when they should expect you home after you leave. If you are the last employee to leave the office for the day, please walk around the building to ensure you are indeed the last person to leave. Switch off all of the lights behind you and use your individual code to set the alarm as you exit. Please lock the door and ensure the gate is closed and locked behind you.
A crisis is an unplanned action or circumstance that impacts Quinn, our employees, or our customer sites. Examples of crisis situations could include an accident or a fatality, including incidents involving company property or vehicles, natural disasters, floods, tornadoes, or extreme weather conditions, bomb threats, hazardous material incidents or environmental violations, a fire or explosion, labor issues or company rumors, financial scandal, or controversial termination of an employee. A crisis communication plan provides policies and procedures for the coordination of communications and information internally and between Quinn and our key stakeholders, media, and the general public. If an incident occurs, ensure the safety of those involved and immediately contact your supervisor. Your supervisor will enact the site emergency response plan. The site coordinator will collect all information regarding employees in the care, custody, and control of Quinn, ensuring accountability for the employees on site. The site coordinator will also have the responsibility of notifying the general manager and the executive team, who will inform members of the Quinn Corporate Crisis Communications Team. The Quinn Crisis Team will be responsible for notifying affected family members, the Employee Assistance Program, and communicating with media. Employees should never act as a spokesperson. If you're approached by media, do not release any information and instead encourage media to contact the Quinn corporate office to reach a designated spokesperson.
We encourage our staff to ask questions, especially when it comes to safety, because as they learn, they become better. So when you're unsure around safety, you should check with your immediate supervisor and inform them of your concern.